You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot
Ty,
Box.
let's just get right into it. We got a big card, not really huge, but it's a somewhat all right card compared to what we had to talk about last time and what we have to talk about next week, which is not to jump forward a little bit, but that's a rough one if you've looked at that one. But
don't look at it, folks.
Yeah, don't look at it. We got Beneil Dariush, Arman Tsarukyan, a 155 battle. We have a man who is, I don't know what kind of fucking ad just popped up on my thing, but we have Beneil Dariush.
X-Videos.
Yeah, no, it's not exactly. Some dude was just doing karate on my screen. I'm like, oh shit, he's fucking kicking the shit out of them boards. But Beneil Dariush plus 250, Arman Tsarukyan minus 300, 310. Big time favorite here. Dariush coming off of he got eliminated, right? By Charles Oliveira in, what was that, June? During the, that's right, Amanda Nunes and Aldana. Oh my God, that was a rough night. That was a main event, and then they were the co-main. Mike Malott, yeah, that's right. Nobody wonder who bought that fight.
The card I absolutely shit the bed on, and I think went 0 for like 30. And Team Canada swept us. So
no, that's right. We were fading Canadians all night long, and we got cucked. That's exactly right. And Arman Tsarukyan is coming off of a win in June as well against Joaquim Silva, where he had a third round elimination of him. So
did the chicken dance too, though.
He did do the chicken dance. I think I had him decision that night, and he kind of screwed me over. I remember watching that at the bar. I made the guy at the bar turn the fights on. He was like, really? I was like, yeah, no. I need that on that TV right there. I need UFC Fight Night. Like, what channel? I'm like, you shouldn't even have to ask that, but ESPN.
Yeah, come on, bro. 206.
Come on,
29.
bro. You watch MMA, bro, but...
You want to fight right now?
I mean, I think Dariush is a little bit too much of an underdog in this one, but I still don't have confidence in him to win this fight. This seems like it's I don't really have a real feel on this one. I think Tsarukyan has shown that he has all the skill in the world, and he is just a all action grappler and can take you down and smash you on the ground, he can knock you out on the feet too, which he did to Christos Gallegos, but that's Christos Gallegos. But what do you have a feeling on this fight? Do you have a bet that you like right off the rip? Because I don't really it might be a couple weeks in a row where I don't bet the main event. I don't really have a good feeling on this.
Yeah, usually I'm a proponent of staying away from the main event. I've gotten fucked over a lot on main events, so I think I might stay away. I feel like if there is a play, it might be Benny. I think he might be the play. I think he his last fight was obviously tough. But he looked good against Gamrot. He had that post-fight speech that was interesting. He seems like, he has that nice guy persona, but he's a killer. So it's kind of, he's a strange fighter. He's a strange person in general. Not strange in that sense, but, he just seems like the nicest person ever. But his fight style, balls to the wall. Remember the Drakkar Klose fight, almost got his ass, put out, and then he put him out.
Yeah,
I think that was pretty much the end of that Drakkar Klose hype train. Jeremy Stevens gave him a nice little shove that ended up concussing him, which is crazy. And then tore his ACL. Poor guy. We'll talk about him later. I don't think Benny has a bad gas tank, but I do think his fight style can possibly lead to that. Tsarukyan has a pretty aggressive style. He goes after it too with his wrestling and scrambling, but I feel like his cardio has lasted pretty well. I think he's been in a 5-rounder, and Beneil has not. So that's something to think about. I think Beneil's never lost a fight that's went the distance. But like I said, sometimes he will, just wear himself out. Not really obviously he'll tire, but kind of does it to himself. It's not a gas tank issue. Remember the Evan Dunham draw? He, tried killing him in the first round, and after that lost the next two. So I'm not sure. I like Tsarukyan a lot. Obviously, his debut was crazy against Islam. I don't know, that loss ages well every day, which sounds crazy, but I don't know. He also has like a grind him out style. He likes to get on top control, nasty ground and pound. His hands are getting better. I just think his striking defense is the issue. I think like I said, he can hit you. He can throw some good kicks, very hard kicks. He throws aggressive body kicks. But yeah, like I said, I just think he can get hit easily. He can get his face. We've seen his face get busted up a little bit. Um, and I just think this is probably a fight where he's going to settle in after some wild scrambles, because getting Dariush down and just scrambling, wrestling, grappling with him, especially right away when the fight starts, is hell on wheels. Dariush is sneaky athletic. I know he has that gray hair, even though he's he's pretty young. But he is, and it doesn't look like the best athlete, kind of stiff the way he moves, but he gives you hell in those scrambles, man. So I think Tsarukyan's going to have to, calm down, kind of fight methodically, maybe throw some kicks, slow him down, try to hit him hard, and then go for a takedown in the middle of the first round or late first round, and then get some top control, get some ground and pound. And I think that's probably what he's going to do and how he's going to win. I just I don't know if he's going to finish him or not, so I don't really have an edge at all, honestly. Here, I don't really know. I feel like I should, but I'm going to go with Tsarukyan by decision, because I think it's going to be the first fight Dariush ever loses by decision. But I guess I could see a bunch of different factors here. I could see a bunch of different things happening. So I'm going to stay away betting wise, but that will be my pick, and I think I'm pretty confident.
I worry about Tsarukyan being able to get Dariush to the ground. I don't know. Like you kind of mentioned, it's the scrambles, and it seems like it's hell. I mean, Gamrot kind of had that similar mindset or game plan, and he really was not successful at all. He was getting knocked down, like flash knocked out, and getting back up, which we can all agree that Gamrot's not human. But I don't know, man. Tsarukyan also did lose to Gamrot, so it's just that's something that just sticks in my mind. And I think the line itself is a little bit of an overcorrection from him getting knocked out by Charles Oliveira, but Charles Oliveira is Charles Oliveira. He's if not he's the number one next to maybe 1B next to Islam Makhachev, which that's not exactly a disrespect or a negative, because Islam Makhachev is head and shoulders above everybody at 55. So if there was a secondary champion, if there was an intercontinental champion, to bring my WWE into
Rob
this, it would be, shout out Rob Van Dam, but it would be Charles Oliveira. So I don't really discredit him for losing that fight in the fashion that he did. I just, I can't get that out of my head, and I can't get it out of my head how good Beneil had looked before that and in all these different fights. And I want to take Beneil moneyline here. I really do. I think it is a perfect spot for a somewhat of a vet lesson, but I just don't trust that he may not get caught or something and knocked down, or that maybe that, he is 34. He's getting up there. He's not old necessarily, but age could be catching up to him in some ways. So you just don't know what these guys are going to look like. And Tsarukyan is in his prime pretty much. So I don't know. I don't really trust it, but guess what? I am going to do it. I'm going to take Beneil Dariush money line at plus 250 here to kick this off. Since we haven't been here in a while, I am not going to let this opportunity pass me by. Dariush money line plus 250, and we will keep it moving. You think that's crazy? I don't. Is it like that outlandish?
No, I mean Tsarukyan's takedown accuracy, I think, is like 35%. Dariush's defense is 80%. I think some of that could be skewed, but yeah, maybe we see the best Tsarukyan we've ever seen. But again, he's 27. Like, he's had lapses before. I don't think he's immune to having more lapses. He's what is he? Let's see. I know he's undersized. I just don't know how much undersized. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty noticeable difference.
3 or 4 inches smaller than him, height wise. I think.
So
similar reach.
Maybe parts of this the Gamrot fight show their head again. I guess he lost to Makhachev by decision, lost to Gamrot by decision. I can see him losing to Dariush by decision, like you said, a little bit of a vet lesson. But I do think highly of Arman, so
I do.
I guess he might be the safe pick. But Dariush has done it before, man. He's upset people before, and I think some people are trying to push him out of the top 5, top 10 conversation. And I don't think he's ready to be out of there yet. So we shall see.
Make no mistake, I'm not disrespecting Tsarukyan at all. I know how good he is. I sometimes think the Tsarukyan conversation centers around how good he looked in that Makhachev fight, and people want to push him up to that level to get him to fight him again. Because if he wins this fight, he's probably right there in line for next at the Islam shot, and he would deserve it. Yeah, other than Charles, there's a couple guys ahead of him, and it seems like it's going to be a little bit of a holding/waiting pattern. But I like Beneil talking about how Poirier didn't want to fight it. He turned him down 3 different times, so that was a little interesting. Poirier kind of wants to pick and choose. It seems like Poirier's kind of cooked. That sometimes when you fight McGregor, man, all that money starts coming in. You're like, you know what? I don't really need to do this anymore. It's
fair enough.
I don't blame you.
Trying to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's why he's sitting around waiting for the red panty night, as some would say. But
absolutely.
And the stories around Conor McGregor not that great right now. It's things. He
as always.
He had a child though. He had another one. He just leaves it in, man. He does not give a shit. But
you are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.